All right, let's just dive right in. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack something that, on the surface, sounds incredibly administrative, but is actually the beating heart of a highly functioning organization. We're looking at Syed Amar Hussein Banori's highly structured 12-scene blueprint for job analysis. This is all about finding the absolute truth behind job titles and unlocking genuine HR mastery. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like your actual day-to-day job was, well, completely different from what your boss thought you were doing? If you're a general employee, you've probably nodded your head at some point in your career. And if you're an HR specialist, oh, you have definitely seen the friction this causes. This massive disconnect is exactly what a proper job analysis aims to fix. Here is our game plan for this explainer. First, the job X-ray. Second, the job analysis formula. Third, description versus specification. Fourth, the truth behind the title. And finally, impact and methods. All right, section 1, the job X-ray. Now, technically, job analysis is the systematic HR process of investigating a job to understand its contents. But honestly, just think of it like an X-ray of a position. Just as an X-ray tells a doctor what is genuinely happening inside a human body beneath the surface, job analysis tells HR what's actually happening inside a position day to day, minute to minute. It reveals the invisible bones and muscles of a role. Moving right along, section 2, the job analysis formula. Okay, so it turns out you can actually break down a complex job into a precise 8-part formula. It goes like this: responsibilities plus tasks plus authority plus skills plus qualifications plus experience plus working conditions and finally performance. You can't just guess here. You must thoroughly understand all 8 of these distinct elements before you ever decide who should do the job, how they should do it, and how you're going to measure their success. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you ignore that formula. Look at this comparison. Imagine a company just says, hey, we need an HR manager. A weak HR approach immediately posts a generic ad. Require MBA, 5 years experience, job is to handle HR matters. But a strategic HR professional, they investigate first. By actually talking with management, they map out an incredible 11 distinct responsibilities, from payroll to labor law compliance, and detail the exact skills required, like specific ERP software experience. I mean, it's literally night and day. Which brings us to section 3, description versus specification. This is where people get tripped up all the time. The crucial point is understanding this foundational split. Job analysis is the overarching investigation, right? But it then splits into 2 distinct outputs. On one side, you have the job description. This describes the job itself, what the employee must actually do. On the flip side is the job specification. This describes the person. What kind of human being with what exact qualifications and skills do we need to pull this off? The description equals the duties. The specification equals the human. Let's do a quick interactive pause. Based on what we literally just broke down, which side focuses solely on the candidate's qualifications? Think about it for a sec. If you said job specification, you are absolutely spot on. The specification specifies the person we need to hire. Let's keep rolling. Section 4, truth behind the title. Think about a title like construction manager. If management just says, go find someone to manage construction, that is wildly vague. A real job analysis reveals a completely different story. The actual job involves coordinating subcontractors, monitoring costs and progress schedules, handling massive procurement deals, and ensuring strict health and safety compliance. It proves this isn't just a physical title on a job site. It's a highly complex blend of project leadership and technical management. Or how about this one? Look at the reality of an admin officer. On paper, you're thinking routine, maybe entry-level desk job, right? But when you apply the X-ray, you might discover this person actually manages the company transport fleet, supervises facility security, coordinates all vendors, and controls petty cash. The actual job is massive. Proper analysis uncovers this hidden reality behind a really unassuming title. And finally, section 5, impact and methods. First up, let's talk impact. Job analysis is your ultimate tool to avoid the staggering cost of a bad hire. Say management wants a procurement manager with 10 years of experience. Well, 10 years of experience in what exactly? Buying construction materials, pharmaceuticals, or IT software are completely different universes. By drilling down into the specifics, you ensure you're matching the exact right experience, not just grabbing a random number of years off a resume.
Next up is performance management. You literally cannot tell an employee their performance is unsatisfactory if you haven't defined measurable expectations. A proper analysis maps specific responsibilities straight to KPIs. For example, recruitment is tied to time to fill, payroll is tied to the error rate, grievance compliance is tied to resolution time. Suddenly, performance evaluations transform from being totally subjective and opinion-based to completely objective and evidence-based.
And this is a real game changer for process efficiency. Did you know this analysis can identify serious organizational waste? Imagine an employee juggling 20 different tasks. You run the analysis, and you might find out that, hey, only 8 of these tasks genuinely belong to their position. 5 should actually be transferred to another department, 4 are being completely duplicated by someone else, and 3 are totally obsolete. It's an incredible diagnostic tool for eliminating redundancies. So, how do we actually get all this data? The blueprint gives us a solid toolkit of 6 methods for maximum accuracy. We've got interviews with staff, direct observation, questionnaires, reviewing existing documents, management discussions, and work diaries.
Pop quiz time. Let's test your instincts based on those methods. Which one is best for understanding high-frequency manual physical labor? Think about it. Handing them a questionnaire while they're doing heavy lifting would be a disaster. The undisputed best method here is direct observation. Just watch how the work is actually performed to get the best data.
Let's look at one last real-world example to see how methods like work diaries actually play out. Take an executive assistant to the CEO. By mapping their tasks over time, a really beautiful structure emerges. Daily, they manage calendars. Weekly, they prepare briefs. Monthly, they generate reports. But occasionally, they coordinate highly confidential projects and travel. Organizing tasks by frequency perfectly defines the job's true purpose and highlights the need for crucial competencies, like elite-level discretion. To pull all of this together, you really need to remember this foundational sequence that drives organizational growth. You start with the job, which breaks down into tasks, which create broader responsibilities. Those dictate the required authority, which demands specific skills, allowing you to hire the exact right person to ultimately drive excellent performance. It's just a perfect logical chain. And if you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, let it be this quote from the Source Blueprint. First, understand the job, then understand the person required for the job. That right there is the absolute essence of job analysis, whether you are recruiting, training, or compensating a workforce. I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. If you were to write a weekly diary of your own job, starting tomorrow, what critical hidden tasks do you think you'd uncover? What does the X-ray of your career blueprint actually look like? Keep investigating, keep questioning those titles, and we will catch you on the next explainer.